What's up, YouTube? Had a little technical difficulties. I apologize. I guess 3 times the charm because it says it's working now. Just been how my day has been going, guys. Hope everybody had a good day today. It's Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. Been a long week. Hope everybody is doing good. I'm gonna give a minute for people to get on. Since I know I started, stopped. I didn't know. I don't know what was going on tonight with it. Kind of screwy. YouTube was being weird. So anyway, what's up, T Shaw? I apologize, guys. I don't know what was going on. It kept telling me live streaming was not available right now. So I'm glad we got it working. Tonight I want to talk a little bit about buying and selling both on different various platforms and give you guys just some tips that I use, some tricks that I use. I see Stepbacks in here. He messaged me the other day with a pricing question on a card. I get questions sometimes about what people should price their cards at, or that sort of thing. And there's a lot going on right now with the hobby as far as selling, especially on eBay, that some people are aware of, some aren't. Some hurts, some helps. So I just kind of want to go over a few things and maybe help some people out. I hope this is informative. I hope this is helpful on ways to not only move cards, but pick some cards up for yourself. As you see, there's 3 cards on the screen. 2 of them are ones I have showed before. They're the 2000 Upper Deck Encore Tom Brady rookies. They are both SGC 9s. And then in the middle, I have a 2012 Heritage Mike Trout in a 9.5. The reason I have these 3 cards up here is a perfect example of both a tip for buying cards as well as a tip a lot of people are aware of as far as selling your cards. All 3 of these cards I grabbed off eBay on auction. And all 3 of these cards I got cheap compared to what they should have sold for. I picked the Trout up Sunday night before I went live with Natsman and Elite Co. And I'll bring up my other screen over here. Right here, I actually have it pulled up. As you can see here, it was an auction, and I got it for $182.22. Now, this price, this was way below what it should have been. And the funny thing is, right here, back in May, a 10 sold at auction for $585, and another 10 sold for $430 on July 6th. So even these two at auction, and that one going for $430, that was a steal. I mean, it's a half point away. But let's go look at a PSA 9, and I'll show you why it was a steal. So here's an auction, and this is what I'm getting at, guys. Auctions right now, people say auctions are terrible for SGC. Auctions are terrible, period. This one went for $206. This one went for $197. But look at these buy it nows. $230, $230, a best offer of $230, $235. Here's an auction at $201, $225, $225. I could keep on and on, you know. And I got that card. It's a 9.5 for $182. That should have been at least a $250 card. Let's go look at the 2000 Upper Deck Tom Brady. And same scenario. I might have to put in Encore because there's a lot that comes up for Upper Deck. Okay. If it'll load. Let me clear my results out. Alright, here we go. So, I told you guys about the one I picked up on, it was the Saturday before Father's Day. I accidentally bought it. I got it on auction. It was $270. I'll see if I can find it on here still. Yeah, right here. Saturday, June 20th. I bought it for $270. Okay, and it's a 9. The other one, I don't know if it's still on here or not. Yep, right here, June 2nd. I paid $312 for it. Again, on auction. And it was also a 9. If you go up here, one just sold Sunday for $425. Now, this isn't an increase on the card. This is legitimate. Just auctions are kind of horrible right now. What I'm getting at, if there's a card you want to purchase, look up comps, look up and see what, obviously what they're selling for. When you go to completed listings, and this goes for both buying and selling, make sure that you are at recent first. For some reason, especially on the mobile phones, a lot of times eBay will not select recent first. So when you're looking at comps, you might see something that's back from April and not even realize it. So go and first find out what are they selling for. And then go look at your listings and just pull up, when you do selling format or whatever, put it on auction. And just look and see what things are at, how much time they have. Like the Brady that I got for $270, I literally just put it on my watch list. I was actually at my in-laws. We were having a Father's Day get-together. My phone alerted me. I looked and seen what the price was at, and I threw a bid on it. The Trout, same thing. I I bid like, I think 8 minutes before I went live with Natsman and Eliteco. I threw a bid on it. I didn't expect to win it, and it turns out I did. Um, so, go look, see what some cards, what the prices are at, and just kind of throw it on your watch list. Wait, don't bid right away unless it's something you're really wanting. But most of the time, if you bid early, like especially if it's got a few days left, if you bid early, you're going to end up getting bid up anyway on it. But I'm finding right now the best way to pick up cards for the collection, if I cannot find a buy it now that I can get reasonable with an offer, then I start looking for auctions and try to catch a good deal on an auction. So it's no secret that auctions are horrible right now, and it's not just SGC, it's Raw, it's BGS, it's PSA, it's SGC. Unless it's a monster card that somebody is looking for, a hot card in the market, you can catch some deals. The Trout card, it's a very nice card. It's one that's very popular right now because its update's so high, but it's also not a card that everybody is searching for all the time. The Brady, the Encore, and then he has the regular, so people may not be looking for the Encore. Although, from what I've noticed, sometimes it carries a slightly higher value than the regular. I don't know if that's due to pop or if there was less of them. I do know it has a foil finish, so it's probably tougher to grade. But anyway, something else I'll throw out there that Eliteco mentioned in that interview that I never really thought about doing. If you guys watch him, you hear of him saying this was a Beckett snap out. He gave a really good tip on buying like a BGS 9, or even sometimes he'll buy lower graded BGS, but he'll look at the subgrades, and if it missed the subgrade by like a half a point of getting a 9.5 or something, he can scoop that up at a cheaper price, crack it, resubmit it, and most of the time he'll get a bump. So that's a pretty smart strategy that he uses, especially on some of the bigger cards that he does. He'll buy like a BGS 9 or something like that, and he'll check out the subgrades. If they're close within a half a point, he'll scoop that up at a reasonable price, snap it, pay to have it resubbed, and it'll get a bump. So I never really thought about that. I know Guns mentioned in one of his videos that he's picked up some BGS cards lately because obviously BGS outside of a pristine, you're going to get them for a lower price. So even if you want a gem card, you might be able to pick up a 9.5 cheaper than what an SGC 10 would be. And then even with grading fees, you could probably resub it to SGC and still be under the value. So it's just something to think about. I've actually never cracked a card. I have some that I want to send. Example, the Brady's. I want those in the new slab. I do like the new slip. I don't like the blue and the green and all that. So another little tip that I have found, and I cannot guarantee that it will always work out this way, but it is something that I've noticed on a couple cards that I've looked at. Um, these two here, if you notice the slip, it says SG and it does not say SGC. Sometimes when you're browsing eBay, type in the card you're looking for, and instead of putting SGC, just put SG. This is like an old school SGC slip, and they did not have the C on the label. And sometimes sellers will not list them as SGC. They'll list them as SG. Another little tip that plays off of that, if you look at these, there is no actual single number grade. Like there's no 8, there's no 9, 10, nothing like that on it. It was back when they did a 100-point scale, and so the seller may only list this as an SG 92 or an SG 86 or even an SGC 86, but they won't put what the true grade is. Like, you know, you see there on this one, a 96 is a 9. So that's something else that you can do, is look for, you know, an SGC 96, because, you know, sometimes the sellers don't put that it's a 9. And the hobby is trained to look for 10s, 9.5s, 9s, 8.5s, 8s. They're not trained to look for the 96, the 92, you know, etc. So sometimes you can find listings that nobody's looking at, and you can get a great deal on them. So just a couple little tips there when you're looking at buying things. You know, and raw, I've gave y'all some examples before. Make sure when you're buying a raw card to magnify the picture, whether it's on mobile phone or on the PC. Check your corners and everything. You're not always going to see everything in a photo, and don't ever expect to get a 10. But you also want to get the best that you possibly can. So also when buying raw, one thing that I really like to look for, especially if it's like a, I don't know, a $5 to $10 card, look for lots. Look for a lot of 3, 5, 10, you know, something like that. For one, a lot of times you can get it cheaper. You know, you're not going to pay shipping or whatever on, you know, multiple cards. If you buy 5, you're not going to pay someone 5 times shipping, you know, over the course of 5 sellers. Another thing too is you can sometimes, if it's a $5 card and you buy a lot of 5, you might be able to get that number down to $3 per card. And then the other plus side of it is, if you're in a 5 to 10 card lot, you just went from a 1-to-1 shot at getting a gem or a 9.5 to even a 1 out of 10, then you're most likely going to profit. And even if 1 card out of 10 gets a gem, you know, the other 9 are just, they're just some sprinkles on your ice cream. So always kind of look out for lots. You're usually going to get them cheaper. You're going to have better, you know, more chances. Also, say all 5 or 10 cards are great, then you not only have 1 to stash in your PC, but you have, you know, 4 or even 9 that you can in turn sell. So always think multiples. If it's a more expensive card, and you don't want to risk, say it's a $20 card and there's a lot of 10, and you don't want to drop $180 and get back, a bunch of 9s or something like that. That's completely understandable. Buy them in singles at that point, and just inspect them real good. So anyway, there's just some little bit of tips to yeah, see right there, perfect example that Whiskey just put. So that's just some hopefully helpful advice as far as buying. Now, there's something I want to share with you guys, and I've shared it with Jay Michelin, and I talked to Guns about this. This goes into a topic that has been a hot little story of late, and it ties into with buying. I'm going to put that on the screen real quick. There's a lot of talk going around about, flipping, collecting, and investing. Those, and I'm going to throw this one out there too, because it was mentioned today on the Facebook group, the term sneakerheads. Now, I want to get into this a little bit. There is many different levels of flipping. There's many different levels of investing. There's also different ways to go about collecting. As far as sneakerheads go, we cannot categorize sneakerheads all as one source. Because if those that aren't familiar, sneakers are almost the same as sports cards. There are people that collect them. So we cannot assume that everybody that is a sneakerhead that also collects sports cards are those that buy them up to make a quick dollar. There are those that actually appreciate the shoes, they collect them, or they just buy them for their personal enjoyment, as we may do for cards, to wear or whatever. So we have to be sure when we throw that around that we are not categorizing them as one entity, because there's different levels. Just like there's different levels of a collector. A guy that's talked about quite often is those back pages. And he claims, he's 90-some% collector, hardly ever sells. That's his route of collecting. Some people only collect autographed cards. Some people only collect a certain team. Some people only collect Hall of Famers. There's different ways to collect, okay? Me, for example, I collect Nationals, but I also collect, I have Tatis, I have Acuna, I have Ricky Henderson. I collect guys that I've enjoyed watching play, or, cards that I like how they look. For example, red, white, and blue prisms. I really like the way they look. I didn't like the 2018 design because it looked like a barbershop pole, but, like on the Rui Hachimura, I like that design with him, the photo, just I like the purple waves. So anyway, there's different levels to collecting. there's different levels of investing. You could be a short-term investor, you can be a long-term investor, or you can be like I am with Tom Brady. I'm not a Brady fan, but I've now bought 3 Tom Brady rookies. Why? This isn't, a guy that I want to collect. It's a guy that I am investing in not to sell, right away. It's a guy that I feel is safe money, that has growth potential to his cards. It's a guy that I feel in the future I can hand down to my kids, or if they have kids, I can give them to my grandkids. Do I know if this card will ever be a ton of money? No. But do I ever think it's going to just tank and I'm going to lose everything I paid on it? No. And that's an investment. I mean, when stock guys put money into the stock market, sometimes they're putting their money in safe stocks. If there is a chance for growth, great. But it's a stock that they feel safe in, that's not going to lose them money. So, there's different sides. Now, some people, they invest and they go ahead and sell them once the card starts rising. Just like I showed the LeBron and how much increase that had, and everybody was like, sell, sell, sell. No. I bought that card to display on my shelf, to hold, to enjoy. I did not expect the growth it had, and I'm not going to sell it just because I could make 5x on what I paid. That isn't why I bought it. That comes into the collecting side of it. And people can collect in many, many, many different ways. You have set builders. You have a specific player that you PC. You have guys that only like vintage. So then you get to the flipper side. Now, this is another side, and that's where this Lamar is going to come in, that there can be many different terms. You have the retail buyers that flip unopened wax for a quick dollar. You have guys that buy cards that are prospecting, and then when a guy hits the majors and his price goes up, they flip it. You have people that collect, or that'll invest during the off season, because as I discussed before, off season prices normally dropped. So they would buy in the off season, sell when the season comes back. Now, I'm going to give you a perfect example of a flip that I personally made, and I did not even intend to make this. And it still blows my mind that I was able to do this. But I'll tell you what I did. August of last year, I bought a Lamar Jackson 2018 Panini Black Friday cracked ice out of 10. I paid $9.40 for the card. It was, it's Panini Black Friday, didn't have any value to it. I just wanted a Lamar rookie, and I've told y'all last night, I'm pretty cheap when it comes to buying things for the most part. So I seen it, I was like, hell with it, I'm going to pick it up. It was $9.40. It wasn't gradable, so I stashed it in my little box over there that I have some PC stuff in. Well, as y'all know, Lamar got hot last year, so I looked up to see if there was any more of them on eBay. Well, I noticed one had sold, and it sold for like $130. So I was like, wait a second, let me look at his Prism. Well, his Prism were going between 40, 50, $60. So I had this bright idea in my head. I was going to list this Black Friday card that I paid $9.40 for $150, or best offer. So that's what I did. Well, I got an offer for $140. Okay? So I took the offer. Now at this point, I have $130 profit in my pocket. I took that $130 and I bought a Lamar Prism rookie, and I paid $49. So at that point, I am $80 ahead. I have a Lamar Jackson Prism and $80 in my pocket. Okay? So I paid the grading fee, which I do bulk, so it was $8.50. We'll call it an even $10. So now I'm at $70 and waiting on a card to come back. That Lamar Prism turned into a 10. I don't exactly know how much the SGC 10s are, but let me just see if I can find one real quick. There hasn't been one sold since May. I'll show you guys this. I know it's not this much, but that's the last PSA 10 Lamar Jackson. $1,350. $1,400. $1,500. Moral to the story, guys, I came away from flipping a $9.40 card with $70 in my pocket and a Lamar Jackson rookie that is now probably $1,000 card. So, am I bad for flipping it? Not at all, because I got the rookie I wanted for negative $70. I don't have that happen very often, and I am very, very proud of that. Now, the real question is, can you be a flipper, can you be a collector, and can you be an investor? And the answer is yes, yes, and yes. Because I love collecting. I sell cards to buy cards, and I invest for my kids' future. So, you can be all three. Alright, now, what? Anyway, so some tips for selling, guys. I'm gonna talk about SGC cards, and I've told you guys before, the best way to price your cards is look up, again, make sure you're looking at recent sold, but compare what a BGS 95 is and what a PSA 10 is. And if you have an SGC 10, put it somewhere in the middle. Do not put it up for auction. If you have an SGC 9.5, look at what a PSA 9 is and what a BGS 9.5 is, and put it somewhere in the middle there. But do not put it up for auction. If you have a 9, you're probably going to be in raw range, but you can look at a BGS 9 and a PSA 9 and, park it between those. Now, here's a key thing I want to show you guys, and this is where it takes patience. Okay? All right. So, I've talked about the LeBron James Prism in an SGC 10. And I told you guys, I even showed you guys. What do you mean not true on the 9? Step back. That it varies per between different cards. Yeah, that's what I was saying though. Look at a BGS and a PSA and kind of put it in there, park it in there with their prices. That's what I'm saying. Well, LeBron rookie is a different. I'm talking modern stuff, man. A 9 in modern is going to go for about as much as raw. I'm not talking LeBron rookie. I mean, I have a PSA 9 LeBron Topps. It's $1,000 card. But on modern stuff, you're going to get about raw. That's what I was referring to, because a lot of people are grading and trying to sell raw. Just like your question with your Zion Mosaics. That was what I was talking about. Yeah, older stuff, you're going to get more than raw. That's definitely true. So anyway, I've talked about the LeBron Prism. I showed you guys I sold one for $140. I don't know if it's still on here or not. Yeah, right here. I sold one right here for $139.99. And then, I don't know what the hell this one was. That didn't make any sense. Probstein sold one for $86.59, literally 6 days after I sold one. Then this guy sold one for $110. This person sold two for $250, so $125 a piece. Then here was one for $120. And then you go to this. This guy sold his for $90. And here was another auction that came in at $86. SGC 9.5 goes above a PSA 9, Toa. It's not steep at all. So when I seen these two, this $86 one and this $90 one, I did not list mine. I've kept mine off of eBay. I knew when those were sitting there, it was going to be tough to sell. So when you're trying to list a card, go back through and look at what history is doing. Look at what active listings are. If somebody has one that's cheap, maybe hold off. Don't undercut theirs. Don't take less. Look at what you can get. Now, the reason I say this, I held off. I just listed mine yesterday. I have had them off of eBay. I'm not selling them for $90 when I know I've sold one for $140. Now, I want to show you the reason I went ahead and listed them is here was 2 sales for $150 a piece. So they finally went back to the price point that they were before. So I went ahead and put mine back up. No, Toa, PSA 9s and PSA 10s have too far of a range. Look, I will show you a perfect example. So since we're on the topic, I'll show you. A LeBron Prism PSA 9. $55, okay? LeBron Prism PSA 10. $189. You have you have almost 4 times markup right here. This one is almost right at 4 times markup between a 9 and a 10. A SGC 10 is between a BGS 9.5 and a PSA 10. And then an SGC 9.5 would be between a PSA 9 and a BGS 9.5. There is way too big of a gap between a PSA 9 and a PSA 10. Way, way, way too big of a gap. Anyway, where was I at? I was over here on LeBron. So, if you're seeing cards that people have sold at auction, and it's a third of what the card should go for. You know, this is an example, $86. And then here we have them at $150. Hold off a little bit. I know it gets annoying. I know it's crazy. It sucks, but hold off a little bit. Wait for another sale that isn't an auction. Because I'm telling you guys, if you're patient and you price your stuff right, you're going to make the sale. I'm strong on this. I've been making sales frequently. So just don't give in. If you see, like if you had this LeBron and you're like, oh crap, you know, Probstein sold one for $86 at auction, don't throw one up at $90. Don't do it. You're going to kick yourself in the rear later on, because you can get more for this card. So be patient with it. And if you cannot find comps, then check, like say the last one you see sold was like a month ago. Before you list it and use a month old price as a comp, be sure to check raw prices. Because if raw prices have went up, don't sell yourself short on a month old sale of a graded card, because if the raw went up, then you're going to be able to get more for the graded card. So keep that in mind as well. I know sometimes selling an SGC card is hard because not everybody has maybe a card that you're selling. So you might not be able to find a comp for it. Even in a PSA, sometimes there's no PSA comps or BGS. If you see a sale, use it as a guide, and then check raw prices before you throw it up on a month-old or 2-month-old price. Don't sell yourself short. Now, I want to talk about outside of eBay, okay? Because this is something that I am really, really trying to push harder. I am sick of paying eBay almost as much as my car payment every month. Our Facebook group is doing better. There's been a good bit of sales in the group. I hope it picks up more. I hope the group grows more. It's saving people money. It's saving people money, both the seller and the buyer. But if you are the seller, I want you to think of this, okay? I'll use the Lamar as an example, okay? Say I sold this on eBay and I put it up for $1,000. We'll just use a round number, $1,000. Say I put it on eBay and it's sold. Well, I have to deduct 13%. So my actual sale is $870. Okay? So think about that for a second. Or I could put it on Facebook and say T-Shaw was interested in buying it. If he bought it off of me on eBay, he would be paying $1,000 plus tax, which that varies state to state, but we'll say 5%, and I would be losing 13%. So he would be paying more, and I would be getting less. So why don't we do this, guys? If I wanted to sell this, instead of saying, hey guys, I want $1,000 for this card, and that's what eBay price is. You know, eBay comps are $1,000. I want $1,000. Keep in the back of your mind, if you want to make a better sale, and I know we're all trying to avoid fees. However, if you don't build a platform that is going to help you avoid fees, then you're never going to avoid the fees. So how about you say $900? $900. You're gonna make $30 over what you would have made on eBay, and you're gonna make a connection with somebody and save them over $100. So by making that transaction, you're both benefiting because you're making more and they are saving. So that's why I'm trying to push the group more. Because we all can benefit from it. As long as we're not listing the cards up for eBay price, I mean, I get it. We go outside of eBay to save on fees. But if your only option is eBay, you're going to pay the fees. So give a discount. Think of the benefit for both parties, and you'll be able to move your cards quicker because you're going to be saving someone some money. I'm going to tell you now, I finally completed, I've been talking about it, I finally completed the MySlabs page. If I'm understanding correctly, MySlabs is 1% fee. I guess that's over $100 or something like that. Anyway, if it's 1% fee, and say I still have to pay the 3% PayPal fee. And so let's say I'm at 4%. I'm not going to list my cards on there for eBay price. I'm going to tell you. Not going to do it. I'm actually going to list them for probably 7% less than what eBay's going for. Because cards that I have for sale, I'm not sitting here, nickel and diming them. That's why I do the auction on YouTube with you guys. Yeah, I sell stuff for a price that is less than what it shows as an eBay comp. But guess what? Just like I told y'all with the LeBron Prism, I sold that to Mr. Jordan for $115. I gave him a great deal, and from what I would have actually made off of eBay, I only lost $6. And I'm not going to cry over $6. Especially on a base card. I mean, I'm not going to do that. So, do your comps, do your eBay comps, and then sit down and calculate, okay, how much would I actually make if I sold this card on eBay? Then subtract 8%, 10%, whatever you're feeling like, comfortable with. And then maybe add in, $4 or $5 to cover your shipping fees. I'm sure somebody can accept paying $4, $5, to cover your shipping fees. And you just made yourself more money than you would have on eBay, and you saved a buyer a great deal of money, and I'm sure you're both appreciative of it. So, just think about that, guys. Whether you're listening, I've never sold on Instagram. I've sold in the Facebook group. I've sold on Reddit. Mumbles, if he's still in here, he knows I've sold on Reddit. Connor knows I've sold on Reddit. I'm going to try out my slabs, and people might get pissed at me, but I'm not going to expect eBay comps on my slabs if I'm not paying the same fees. So, I have a lot of stuff to move. And the quicker I move things, the quicker I can send more off. The quicker I can add more stuff, those top 5 cards in each sport, the quicker I can make money to add those cards. But it's just something to think about when you're pricing things, whether it's eBay, whether it's My Slabs, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Well, that's why we have been trying to get people to join the Facebook group. Our Facebook group, and you can ask anybody that is in this chat right now, our Facebook group is an awesome bunch of people, and we have 3 moderators, including my wife. And anyone that requests to join our group is vetted through the scammers page. Now, we cannot guarantee that if they get in there and they get a wild hair up their ass that they can get over on somebody, that they're not going to try it. But what we can guarantee is if we find out their ass is gone, so, it's going to be a one and done situation. But everybody that is a part of our group gets screened through the scammers page, and as long as they don't show up on there, then we allow them in. We have not had any problem so far. Oh Boogie, the 10-day group sub that has that's been at SGC and logged in the system since, what day was it? June 29th. Today was day 8 on the 10-day, right there. So, but anyway, if you guys, if anyone in here wants to join the group, the link or the address or whatever is on the scrolling bar down at the bottom. We have some questions to answer. We just ask if you are a subscriber, what your name is, all that. Just to make sure that you're not, a random. If you know people personally and you are already in the group, you're allowed to invite them in. Just let us know. So, any questions, guys? I hope this was helpful. Just some things that I, especially with buying, maybe just some little, even if it was one tip, whether buying or selling, that might have helped you out. I really hope that it's helpful. No, sir, Amari, I have oh, actually, I have done that. I did it on a bobblehead that I bought from Mrs. Bobble. I bought her a bobblehead, and it was funny. The guy actually lived in the same town. I didn't even realize it until I paid him. And I picked the card up, or not the card, I picked the bobblehead up the next day, and he refunded me the shipping I paid him. So that was pretty cool. I didn't even realize it until I paid him and I seen he was in the same town. So but yeah, guys, anyone, anyone that is interested, please feel free. I mean, as long as y'all clear the scammer page, whatever, you're more than welcome in there. Jay Michelin, man, that dude has been busting the giveaways. I'm going to just pop it up real quick in case somebody didn't see it the last time. I think it's in this group here. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and show y'all. Okay, so here is our buy, sale, trade thread, okay? There is a lot of LeBrons up here. I can tell you now, that optic looks centered. That is a $90 card in a SGC 10. I sold 2 of them for $89.99. It's $90 all day. That's a hollow. I don't know exactly what they go for, but that's probably $40-$50 at least in a SGC 10. He wants $40 shipped. Tyler Hero, he has a lot here. 2 pink hypers. That one looks, from what I can tell, pretty well centered. There's a mosaic pink camo. Again, another good lot. That optic looks maybe a tad off to the left, but these white borders kill me sometimes. So yeah, another lot. Look, $25 shipped on a Hero lot. Guns put up Kemba Walker, Paul Pierce, red, white, and blues. $4. $4, guys. Go on eBay. You're going to pay that in shipping alone. We got this Steven. I believe it's Jay Michelin's neighbor, if I'm remembering correctly. Look at this, guys. We even have wax in here. Wax, guys. $125 each. These are Jumbo Hobby Series 2. Jumbo Hobby Series 2. $125 each. A big boy Zion. It's a PSA 9. I am not sure what the comps are on that. I haven't honestly looked that up. But $750. Somebody's looking for Pat Mahomes, Don Russell Optic rookies. We got some Shies in here. A green in a PSA 9. DeAndre Ayton red select in a PSA 9. So yeah. Let's see. We got some Prism draft lots. Where is all the rest of the cards? There was a whole bunch more in here. I guess the others haven't been tagged or something. I don't know what's going on. Why it didn't show them all. Okay, I'll go here. How about that? Look at this. Oh, he doesn't have those for sale yet. Joe Burrow. Auto, $95. Gary V holding a 9.5. Dang, there's TH with a big Kobe White. Huge Kobe White. If y'all don't know anything about the optics, TH, what is this numbered out of? Like, are these out of 7 or something? Or they're a low number. I know that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the black golds are low numbered. I'm pretty sure this is out of Optic Choice. They might be out of 10, like the regular golds, but I don't know if TH is still on here. I know it's a very low number. Oh, right there, he put it out of 8. Yeah, I knew they were low numbered. I couldn't remember what they were. Look at this, guys. Peyton Manning score artist proofs. You can pick up an 8 for $50, an 8.5 for $60, a 9 for $90, or a 10 for $200. I mean, geez. Barry Sanders. You want a Barry Sanders 89 score, a BGS 9 for $85, or an SGC 9 for $85. There's the wax again. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in here, guys. Look, a Jordan Upper Deck Special Edition and a 10. Okay, I don't know if Andy Plum's watching, but bro, if nobody buys this, you're crazy, because I sold 3 Kobe Whites on eBay, and I sold each one of them for $105. So if you don't buy this, you're crazy. I'm going to leave it at that, and that was like 2 months ago, so I am 99% sure that card has went up. $75 on a Kobe White Prism SGC 10. I promise you guys, I have sold 3 of these on eBay for $105 a piece. This is the kind of deals that's in our group, guys. Yeah, look at this. that's not for sale. But that's the Louis Robert SSP that one of our members is got on the way back from SGC. Big card, guys. So yeah, great group. Anyone, you're more than welcome to join. Great deals. I could sit here all night showing you all cards, but if you're not in the group, you can't buy them anyway. So I'd go over there and join the group. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, because that is one of the questions on the group. Whether or not you are subscribed and what your intentions are with the group and what your YouTube name is. So anyway, guys, I apologize if I am like dragging tonight. I worked my ass off at work today. So I am a little bit beat, but I could be adding the topic. Oh. But yeah, guys, definitely check out the group. And the best thing is, everybody is like a little family in there and helps out. Even when there's heated, passionate discussions, as my wife likes to call them, there's no nastiness. Like, everybody gets along. And that's the best part about it. It makes it easy having the group. So, anyway, guys, I hope tonight was helpful. I really do appreciate it. I try to get on here and do stuff that is helpful or fun or, informative. That's the whole goal with this, is to just help people out. So if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. If you enjoy the channel, please like it and share it with your family, friends, coworkers, enemies. I don't care. If they like cards, hopefully they'll like the channel. But anyway, that's all I got for tonight, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and until the next video, I'm out.